Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Has been undescribable, very wonderful, very fascinating and engaging. In fact, it's an experience of our lives. Being here and seeing Baba, the reception is an eye-opener. We are so grateful. I believe there will be more of these visits, and Baba will be coming back and back to us in Ghana as many times as he's able. No, Luvara namhlanje lisho ukuthi ngijabule kakhulu ngoba ngivakashelwe abafowethu abaqhamuke enhlane eAfrika. Labafowethu ke babe ngibizile ukuthi ke ngizoba khona sikhulume ngendaba zase-Afrika nokuthi kwenzekani. Besikhona ke sihamba nebandla lami lomkhonto wesizwe lapho esafike sakhuluma khona base bethembisa ukuthi bayofika bezobonga njengoba befikile namhlanje bebezobonga ukuthi savuma ukuthi siye khona laba balapha ke imfundiso ezinkulu zale mfundo okuthiwa imfundo ephakeme kuyibona abafundisa le eAfrika. So sizwa sinokujabula okukhulu ukuthi sikwazile ukuhlangana nabo bafika bazosho ukuthi bayabonga kwahamba kahle nezinkulumo esazenza nabakwenza nabo nendlela ke basiphatha ngayo kwase kwanda ubuhlobo bethu phakathi kwethu sezivumelene ukuthi njalo nje sizoloku sithintana nje ngoba sifuna ukushintsha iAfrika manje ibuye ibe le anti-Afrika yayiyona ngekhathi zasemandulo. So sibonge kakhulu, ngijabule kakhulu ukuthi bafikile la sakwazi ukuthi sihlale nabo phansi sixoxe kabanzi sibonisane imibono ethini kuhle kakhulu. Sibonga kakhulu ke bandla nani siyanibonga nina niseduze kwethu ukuthi hawu nani nibe khona nenza ukuthi sikwazi ukubonakala nabantu babonakale nezivakashi zethu zibonakala ngoba nibone sifake almost ongiyane ngathi kufake ongiyane kanti hayi sifake umvuno lo. Siyabonga.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Seso. I'm your host, Kahiso Hlongwane, host is in Chiva Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. And listen, as a Pan-Africanist, I am a big advocate in Africans coming together. That's something that I'm very passionate about, and hence you would see that that's what we are trying to push in terms of PASETA, the Pan-Africanist School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. And I love coming together with my African brothers and listening to their thoughts, and mostly it's like-mindedness that bring us together, because we are all having a vision that Africa can unite as an economy, as one country, with one president, with one army, with one language, that is mostly spoken for trade purposes and education purposes. We believe in that in PASETA. And that is why next year, in 2026, we are launching PASETA Namibia and PASETA Lesotho. Already there is registered entities in those two respectable countries, but now we have to launch it and start building on the ground. So please, those who want to go with us to Namibia, it's not far, it's just a shorter road trip. We decided that some of us will drive to Namibia because we want to experience the road nicely. I think in Africa, when you drive, it's different than when you fly. And the roads in Namibia are perfect. Trust me. Yeah, sometimes in other situations better than South Africa. So because of their population is very low. We are going also to Lesotho to do the same, launch PASETA so that the future generation of the African children in Lesotho can have like-mindedness with the African children in South Africa, in Botswana, in Uganda, Angola, and Liberia, where PASETA is, and we are hoping to get other countries joining the movement of building Africanized schools in Africa in the next 50 years. It is a big mission that we are pushing. But anyways, if you want to donate to that, you want to know more about that, you can send a 50 Rand contribution to PASETA South Africa, where we are currently busy building phase 1 of the building project, and we want to do the guard room so that we can do the reception area and the parking area, so that people can start seeing that there is serious movement there. There is a wall that is standing there of the gate. Thank God for all the donations that our African people have donated. We really appreciate it, but we need to do more in Africa as well. We need to do more in Liberia. We need to do more in Uganda. We need to do more in Namibia, and Namibia and Lesotho are on our yearly plan for next year for the visitation. Maybe there will be another country we might put in there. Okay. I would like to see politicians do more of what Jacob Zuma is doing. It's so unfortunate. The man is old. It needs to be done by young politicians in their 40s and their 50s and their 30s. That is what I'm yearning for. That politicians that has got influence in their countries can just call each other and say, hey, listen, my man, I'm coming to Zambia. Let me see you as a South African. And you take your delegation there and you talk and say, hey, gents, we might not have power right now. We might not be the ruling party right now, but we need to make sure that if anything happens to one of us, we have solidarity and we've got unity to defend each other, push a certain agenda, do whatever. It's very important for me. I wonder why politicians don't do more of that. More of that. So even though you might disagree with the politics of Jacob Zuma and whatever, but there is something to learn from there. There is something to take that is good from what he did. You go and visit Ghana, you come back to South Africa, Ghana must come back and visit you. It's only right that it's done that way. You know, return the favor, favor for favor. So these ones, the professor, no doctor, they didn't come for an event. They came to see the old man. And now he's talking about something that is very important, that there is a big difference between economical empowerment and political empowerment. We have been empowered politically, but also that political empowerment is controlled by the economic empowerment, because those who own the economy control what happens in politics. Something that is so profound. People don't think about it that way until they start understanding that our politicians are actually puppets of those who fund them. It is an undisputed truth. Those who fund you control you. Those who fund you control you. So we are having that. That is why these politicians are not free to create these links between African countries. Because you want to link with someone in Namibia, but you find that they are heavily bounded by the boundaries of the founders has placed for them, the limitations rather that their founders has placed for them. You can't work with Julius Malema. You can't work with Jacob Zuma. You can't work with Vuyo Zungula. You can't, and all of those relationships are very important. Chamisa there in Zimbabwe, and there many more politicians around Africa. I can't name and finish all of them, but in every country you go to Senegal, you've got Fahe, the president, you've got Usman, the prime minister. You've got people that you can work with as Africans that can take Africa forward. I'm talking about people when they got in power, they got rid of the French language, they got rid of the French army. They did the same things that Captain Ibrahim Traore and Gaute has done in Mali and Burkina Faso. So for me, I love it when I see African people uniting under one roof. It's something that I wish they can just have called me to come and take notes, to come and make tea, to come and be their water boy, just so that I can sit in those rooms and listen to the perspective of how do they Ghanaian people reason. What is their position on some economical things that are happening in Africa? What is their views about Pan-Africanism? Does Pan-Africanism need to be redefined by our current generation? Or do we continue with the Pan-African? Remember the first Pan-Africanist big conference in Africa was held in Accra by invitation by Kwame Nkrumah in 1958. You can fact check me. I might get the date wrong, but I think I've got it right. In 1958, that was the first big conference of Pan-Africanism that hosted more than 400 people under one roof, and they were talking about how to liberate themselves further from the colonial clashes, and also how to unite Africans. It happened there in Ghana. So it's nice to see that South Africa was not there, by the way. I think the countries that were there were mostly from the north, Liberia, Libya, Morocco, and Egypt at that time, 1958. I hope I'm right with the date. So that is the same spirit that is still continuing today. But they must come with solutions and physical and practical things that we can do to change the narrative that is being pushed about Africa. So the only way you can do that, you can normalize Africans visiting each other. I've come up with a concept called the Advanced Integrated Border System. And with that, SADC can easily be united. Easily, with people still staying in their regions, in their countries, without even coming to one country and whatever. You can unify the systems and make sure that traveling from one country to another is simple. And changing of skills is simple. Buying and selling of goods is simplified. But the situation with South Africa. But anyways, I just wanted to say, this is what I want. In 2026, I myself want to do more of this, but in the focusing on education. I want to infiltrate the entire African country and visit African countries and say, guys, what are you doing in Namibia? How can we help? What can we learn? And iron sharpens iron like that. And then after 3 years visiting other African countries, 10 years, 5 years visiting other African countries, we're gonna come back and say, okay, this is what we need to do. But if we don't start, we don't get anywhere. We cannot, as young people, be beaten by people who are 84, 83 years old. We need to do more than what Jacob Zuma is doing. We need to travel more. What Jacob Zuma travels to Ghana, comes back, he's sick, he's bedridden, he must rest, he's old. He must go and see a doctor and recover for 2-3 days because of the long travels that he has. Tina, we've got the youth in our blood, but we are wasting it by fighting wars of division amongst ourselves. Let me not start preaching, but you guys know what I'm saying. African young people need to wake up. We are boasting that Africa is the most youthful continent in the world, but what is the youth doing? We are so divided, the youth. We need to wake up. We need to wake up. Let's learn something from that the small visitation. It does not have to be an event. Just seeing each other, video it, record it, and diarize it, and make sure that everything is recorded, and just talk about things, and then formulate a plan of funding and formulate a plan of action, and then we go forward. I'm very passionate about that. Very passionate about it. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Until we meet again, leave your thoughts on the comment section. Tell me, are you in agreement of what I'm saying in terms of Africans visiting each other, and that Jacob Zuma is showing us that it's possible, and other politicians in South Africa should start doing more of it, because some of the victories that we will have as South Africans will be in other countries. And other countries will have bigger victories in our country than their own. They say a prophet is not celebrated by his own city. Zakala. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. But after you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.